What is going on, All Terrain Nation? You know the drill. Two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. It does not matter what you drive. This is your All Terrain Nation, and I'm your host, David Boyd. My co-host is missing tonight. She's nowhere to be found. I don't know what's going on. Something about the vid. I don't know. It's a crazy time. You go traveling the globe, and what happens to you? You get sick. But anyways, I'm here tonight, and we're going to have a good show. Might have a surprise guest here in a little bit. Who knows? There's always a chance for a campfire sighting, so we'll keep that in mind. But hopefully, y'all's Monday is going a little better than mine. But first off, I want to say cheers to all my fellow Bronco fans, enthusiasts, whatever you call yourselves. Golden Corral, as it were, in the bottom there that somebody was talking about. But we have a good show tonight. I think we're going to talk some Heritage Edition, and we got some colors to talk about. And I'd like to talk about Kelly's trip, but well, damn. She's in bed right now, not feeling well. But we will go. I had this whole show planned, and well, you know, you wake up in the morning and well, you get sick. So, anyways, you guys, if you think about it, wish Kelly get well soon. She's perfectly fine, but you know, is what it is. But speaking of fine, there is a fine looking Santa Claus I see in the green room right now. And let's see, is he ready for prime time? Is this man ready for prime time?
And holy cow, hey now, what is going on?
What is up, Bronco Santa?
Man, I tell you what, I am living a dream. I'm living a dream.
You are living the dream, man. And your mic sounds good tonight. What's going on with that?
That is awesome. Well, you know, I guess it's when you got to rush, when you get like 2 minutes notice. Well, hey, by the way, can you jump on?
Right.
Then things happen.
I just mentioned golden ticket. I didn't say it had to be you.
Well, okay.
But anyways, we got a good one tonight. I want to say hi to everybody. I've got to do the job. It's a dirty job, but you know, somebody's got to do it. We got Mr. Stephen Rapp in the house, who has a big ordeal getting his Bronco, man. A lot of pain in the buzz. We got Mr. Becker in the house. Of course, we got Mobile Moto and Impeugeot, the tag team that are I don't know, old school guard. You guys have been here probably since the beginning of Bronco Talk Live. Let's see who else we got going on here today. Well, there's lots of Impeugeot. There's Airplane Mike buzzing through. He is buzzing the tower, as it were. We got Bronco 78. We got Mark Young in the house, Mach E fan. Let's see who else is in here. There's all kinds of. We got Dirk. We got Eric, Valley Dude 5000. We got Miss Nurse AJ. How you doing, ma'am? Don Reese from Arizona. Welcome from Arizona. Welcome to Middle Tennessee-ish, as it were. I guess the internet. I don't know how we do this. What's up, Terrence Mooney? Terrence, anything, man. Any kind of news, anything. Do you have anything to talk about? We got the classic Frank B is in the house. Let's see. 502 Bourbon Crew. Hopefully their drum set is warmed up, ready to go. Da Vinci is in the house. We got Jonathan here. Let's see who else we got. Nick, Austin Cash. Man, we got a lot of people. Bucksnord. I don't know. That's probably 00 Bucksnord. I don't know. Tim, I just can't keep up with these people. Zachary, we got 4 high, 4 low.
Is that a bad thing?
I don't know, man.
I think it's a good thing that you can't keep up with all the people in the chat.
First off, guys, smash that like button for Grumpy Bear here. Do it for me, man. I would greatly appreciate that. And you know, if you haven't subscribed yet, maybe we'll earn that subscription tonight. But Bronco Santa, man, how's your week going? Is your Bronco running well? Everything going good with it?
Going good. Got some new parts in the mail.
Ooh, I like
over the weekend. Had a little snafu with FedEx.
What?
Yeah.
Are they more reliable than Ford about deliveries?
Well, they got lost.
And
then they couldn't be found. And they said, well, we'll touch base with you on Monday. And I'm like, great, because I'm going to be gone.
Yeah.
And then they showed up on Sunday. So
I'm sorry. Nikki says, just got here and I see no Kelly. Nikki is in the bed with the vid. So so she's in lockdown right now. You might see her in the chats. I don't know if she'll pop in the chats or not, but I don't see her in her producer role either in the backstage. So I think she's watching How to Murder Guys, because that's what women seem to do, is in my household anyways. They all watch murder mysteries and how to get away with killing dudes. So I'm always, I always keep something next to my nightstand just in case I have to fight her off. But you never know. But she will hopefully be feeling better and be back next week because she definitely wants to talk about her trip at the off-rodeo, the ladies off-rodeo that her and Becky did. They had a blast. I know she had a blast because she didn't reach out to me the whole time. I had to ask for updates, and she was like, "Leave me alone. I'm having fun."
There you go.
Right. So I definitely think that she's itching. I know she was ready. I had to revamp the show real quick. The descriptions all changed. The thumbnail changed quickly because I was like, damn it. Oh well. Tim, it looks like there's a rain on your fire, man. I don't know if it's your green screen or what, man. It's there's some rain on your parade or something there. It's
I don't know.
A little digitally pixelated. But so Tim,
yes, sir.
We'll kind of get into this a little bit. And once again, guys, if you smash that like button for me, I greatly appreciate that. And if you have comments, I will definitely try to highlight those and get to them as soon as I can. So trying out these new headphones, man. I don't know how they're working for me just yet. Tim, the Heritage Edition. I want to talk about that just a little bit because Mobile Moto and those guys were not having it. They didn't want to talk about it. Let's see. First off, this is what I got. The Heritage Edition is for the over 60 crowd that just wants to drive it to the local diner at 4:14 a.m. and do their best Walt Longmire. And then, because the comedy keeps going, Mr.
Whoa. Why are they busting on Walt Longmire?
I don't know.
That was an awesome show. I'm sorry. That was an awesome show. And damn A&E for cutting it early. And then Netflix had to pick it up.
Well, they did that with Lucifer too, and I think Hulu picked it up, and it's a much better show once they got a hold of it. Let's see, Heritage Edition and the Everglades owners are having a meetup at the Golden Corral for the Before 5 Seniors and Early Bird Special. Oh man, that was a great comments. I love it. And once again, if you have comments for the show, drop them in there. I'll do my best to highlight them, and we'll get to them. But so I had a couple videos drop. Ford Authority dropped some photos, and I can get these photos that they have. It's not Ford Authority. It's not some exclusive thing. It's a spy photographer, and he sells them. And if I wanted to pay the hefty price for them, we could put our name on it, but I don't have that kind of money right now. But Ford Authority dropped some pictures of that old Heritage Edition, Tim. And did you get to check out any of that stuff?
No, I didn't get the packet.
What
about tonight's show in advance for me to do any research, but I think I have seen the pictures, and I've seen some of what you had up earlier. And was it the blue one?
I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up here.
Well, let's pull it up
because obviously I wasn't really prepared either, since I had to make some last minute changes here. Where'd you go, Mr. Photos? Damn it. They post so much crap up. It's hard to go through their website in a hurry. There they are. Here is the two-door. We'll pop this two-door up here so you guys can play along at home. Oh, Mark Young coming in with the 1111, man. You guys know I like them goofy super chats. But here is the here's the ad there, the article they had on it. And as we can see, it's a two-door. And what looks to be Area 51. Is that what you would say that color is, Tim? Seeing as how you have this owner, you own this color. Would that be Area 51?
I would say that is Area 51.
Which is weird because we're going to get to it later. We got a color palette that was supposedly the official, here's what colors are, and it seems to be lacking a few colors that I've seen on Heritage Editions already. But two-door square fenders. I know I took some heat in a comment. Somebody was like, "Hey man, why is your deal with these square fenders?" This is what the classic Ford Bronco should have looked like. Is you give it that little bit of modern flair with the the halo badging lights and all that special jazz, but you give it square fenders like this, and I like those fenders quite a bit, man. They just kind of speak to me, and somebody was like, "Well, nothing wrong with the round fenders," and no, there is nothing wrong with the round fenders, but I don't know, man. I can't imagine them doing when they did that throwback Mustang. I can't imagine them doing it with like square headlights instead of the round headlights. It's just there's certain things about these vehicles that there's a look to them, and I think the square fenders look pretty good. And man, I'm losing people already. Tim is out. I hear him typing. There he is.
I'm out
There he
now.
is.
Just
But where are you at with these square fenders, Tim? I mean, are they? Are
I
they up
personally
there?
like them. I
I do
personally
too.
like them, and so that the fenders are shared with the Everglades.
Mm-hmm.
So at Supercell, Wisconsin, I actually spent a lot of time staring at the rear end of the Everglades.
It's not polite to stare at people's rear ends, Tim. It's just not.
Well, okay. So I was staring at the rear end of the Everglades. I was staring at the the Gen 6 Bronco. I was staring at the Gen 1 Bronco. And I tell you, I like the look. I understand what Mobomoto and Peugeot was probably saying about, kind of it's the throwback, but I think that's the point
Yeah.
of the Gen 6 Bronco was it was going back to the roots. Now,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, does it make much of a difference? I don't think it does. I don't think it's functionally any different. It's more of an aesthetics thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally, now that I see those, I would rather have those than I would the rounded ones.
Yeah, no, I would too. But once again, it's not that big of a deal because somebody was asking, well, can't you buy these fenders? Won't you be able to buy these from Ford and do it yourself? And it's like, yeah, but you might as well buy the fiberglass fenders because you'd probably be cheaper in the long run than trying to buy anything from the manufacturer is triple the price. And it's because insurance generally, the only reason you buy these things is because insurance pays for it. And these manufacturers know they'll overpay for these things. And I'm thinking the Fiberworks might be the better option or whatever the company is. But I like that they're removable. I can't foresee me wanting to Four Wheel Parts to make those fender deletes or anything like this. But I think they're pretty cool. Look, I think they have a few more photos. There's a nice side view of this thing, and once again, it fits the vehicle in my opinion a little bit better.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I think the one thing, and you kind of touched on it, maybe the aftermarket. That was one of the big selling points with the Bronco in the beginning was the modularity and the what the aftermarket can bring and what you can do as the consumer to be able to swap those fenders out. If you wanted to take off the the removable fender, or not the fender, but the whatever they call it, the little plastic thing.
Yeah.
And change those out. Or if you wanted to change your fender, I mean, the fenders themselves are just a handful of bolts. They're easy to reach. It's not like you have to do anything special to get those off. So
Yeah.
I hope that, I think as things come out, maybe you'll see a aftermarket option maybe for that to do that kind of a look. I mean, you're already seeing people throw the 3 headlights on the front of their Bronco grill to make it look like a Raptor. So
Right.
I mean, there's a market for people. I probably
Oh
be
no,
one of
those
those.
Raptor lights, they're cool, but they don't. I mean, I see them on every Toyota around here and every other vehicle, so why not throw them on the Broncos?
Yeah.
Just because I poo on it doesn't mean it's not for everybody. Some
Oh,
people might like
we're
that,
pulling
but
on it together.
Pick up Truck
Yeah.
Plus SUV says Square is for the win. Chevy's been doing that for years, but Chevy's been doing a lot of things that people don't like for the years too, Tim. So I'm not going to say that that's a plus category for this, but let's see. Here you get a little bit more of that rear. One of the standouts of this two-door Heritage, and I say Heritage, it's till it's official. These are just debadged vehicles driving down the road. But the painted roofs, Tim. We got a tease of this about 3 weeks ago when they had the Everglades drive. Ford had a teaser of these square fenders and some stuff sitting out, and now we're getting to see more of these painted roofs and stuff. And I, especially with Area 51, because I'm not an Area 51 guy, but with that black roof like that, it's pretty appealing to me.
So earlier you had mentioned you thought the Mick top looked really good on the Area 51. So you can't have your cake and eat it too.
I
But
don't recall saying maybe it goes okay with the. I wouldn't.
no,
I'm not
you
an
said
Area 51 guy.
you said with the Area 51 it
I said
looked
people that
good.
had Area 51 are strange, is what
But
I said, Tim.
but with Rapid Red,
Yeah.
it was a whole different story. I don't know if honestly I don't know if I like them, only because I've gotten used to the Mick top. I
Right.
also like the contrast between the glass, the tinted glass, and that kind of that reflective surface and the color. Um, I don't know, and kind of teach their own. I saw some pictures. I think I'm going at 60 had his top painted. I'm kind of interested to see that
Yeah.
in a little bit more detail. I hope he does a video in more detail of the roof
Well,
and what that looks like.
you remember when Ford was teasing some windows popping out, potential
Mm.
for that, and of course the porthole roof or whatever they call it, all that stuff is coming. And if in some of these pictures, and it's not these that I have up, but some of these pictures that you're able to see now, the glass is looking a little different on the sides. So definitely think there is some fun coming for these roofs, and it's about time. I know Wabasto should have their second plant up and running. I mean, if it's not producing tops by now, I don't know what's going on. This is a different company, is my understanding, that's doing the painted roofs. It was, I think, Ford Authority, and I think I reported on it a while back that they hired a different company to produce more tops. So that would be two separate companies and three plants total making tops. So I would say before long, Ford shouldn't have any kind of issues getting these tops out and making everybody's dreams come true. But if you've been waiting for the painted roofs, they are coming. The only thing we haven't seen just yet is the body color matching. And the body color, that for me, I think that looks great. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I like the glossy black top, but anytime I see a Jeep with the body matching roof, certain colors to me doesn't work as well, but for the most part, I do like the body matching color tops.
I, I'm kind of so, and I'll take it back to the FJ. The FJ originally had a white top on them. They all came that way, and then somewhere during halfway through the run, they started doing body matching tops.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing. I prefer the ones with the white tops. I think they just kind of stand out and gives a little bit more. I don't know. You'll have to see them in person, I think, and
Yeah.
to see what it's going to look like. And I'm sure some colors are going to look better than others.
Well, I think, and Zachary will get to that just in a second, but I think for the most part, though, what people don't realize about the white tops is, yeah, they look cool in photos and stuff, but there's a lot of upkeep to white tops like that, man. They're always dirty. Nobody seems to actually wash the top of them, so then they start getting moldy up there, and it just starts creeping down. And
Well,
in my opinion, there's a lot of maintenance to those things.
that's a good point. These tops are textured. They're not a smooth metal top.
Right.
They're a textured top, and they're gonna they're gonna trap dirt, and
Yeah.
dirt eventually leads to organic growth.
Yes,
And
and hate leads to the dark side. So
mhm.
we've learned these things. But Zachary Rogers says the most important question I have about square fenders is, can you rest your beers on them? That's an A plus. That's those are kind of hard questions that when I get the opportunity to, I'll find that I will get that question
Man,
answered
dude,
real
right
quick.
there. That's an aftermarket molded
Cup
fenders
holders.
with molded fenders with cup holders built
Yeah.
in,
Well, that's funny
integrated
because
cup holders in the thing.
that's a thing that the Nissan Xterra guys were doing in the rear. Those little jot outs in the back, little plastic fenders they used to do. They
Mhm.
would take and drill those out, and they would put cup holders in those. It was hilarious that they would do that stuff, but
Makes
I don't know
sense.
why. I've never been on the trails and been like, you know what? Let's let's time out here. I've got to put a cold one in my bumper, but they would do that stuff, man.
They don't really market it very much, but that little area in the back, you can put ice and beer in there. I mean,
Cold
canned
beverages.
canned beverages. Yeah, and
But
keep them cold.
yeah, that is true. But there
Mhm.
is another. So there is another Heritage Edition that I want to show. Maybe if my
Dude,
computer's
you're
not.
worried about the fire, and I got hair flying all over the place.
What?
Yeah,
What are
watch
you
out.
doing, Tim? What are you doing over there, man? You catching on fire? I hate their website, man. It is not a good website for live streaming.
Hey, Dave, just so you don't freak out, I'm going to drop my camera for just a second.
Oh, Tim's leaving us. Hey, I'm freaking out, Tim. Well, maybe I'll find these other pictures of these. There it is. All right, I found it. Like I said, normally I have this stuff up ready to go. All right, so here is a four-door captured, and you can see in the grill in this one, it's got that bright red Ford, and that is not a Raptor. That is the classic throwback lettering for the Broncos. And the other one you couldn't see; they had it blacked, badged over, and this one is a four-door version. You can see. In my opinion, it's like I would do Heritage Edition as a two-door only. Strictly two doors. You do some strange colors to promote two doors. People buying two doors. And, maybe, that whole Nintendo look that everybody fell in love with earlier with that white top and like the area fit or not the cactus gray. But I think if they were to do it just two door, make it special. But it looks like they're going to do a four door as well.
Yeah, I think actually I agree on the two door. If we're throwing it back truly to the Gen 1, I think a two door would be the way to go.
Yeah. Of course,
With
I
six
mean, you know
axles, of
why,
course.
but you know why? It's because the take rate of 2 to 4 doors like 88% or something like that. Like, unfortunately for a two-door guy, which is why they're slowly trickling out versus four doors, the take rate just isn't high enough. So I can see why Ford wouldn't do it because they would, I think it would promote the two-door maybe for sales, but there's always that guy that would be like, hey, well, I wanted it in the four-door. Why can't I have it there? But as you can see, this is the race red Persuasion. I don't know exactly which model that this is. It's got the standard bumper on it now. It's got steps on it. Of course, it's got the wheels. The bummer to me about doing this as a heritage edition per se is the fact that we've seen this damn thing with the Everglades. Like they've not kept it special at all to me. The wheels, there's nothing special about these wheels that we haven't seen with the Everglades.
Yeah.
These are not Steelies. They just look like Steelies. I seen somebody on a forum like freaking out. Oh my God, we're going to get Steelies. And I'm like, guys, Steelies are they're not doing Steelies. They're too heavy, man. There's rolling resistance, man. These are already a box that you're floating through the wind tunnel. We don't need to make them any heavier. And they're pigs as is, nearly 5,000 pounds. But, you know, I do expect them to use the Bronco badging that Ford's been knocking everybody from. That's been trying to sell their script. I do expect to see that on the side of this thing because it just needs something. The side of it's real plain. It's just like, eh. Once again, I've seen all this except for on the Everglades they put the different bumper on there, the metal bumper on there where you can stuff a winch and things you don't probably the way they do it need on there. But and then you're getting the roof rack, it looks like on this. And once again, these are just photos. That's nothing official calling this the Heritage Edition, but you do see the throwback grill. What do you think? Do you think they're going to offer a Heritage in all trims, Tim, or do you think is this going to be something that it's going to be its own unique trim, much like the Everglades, and you only get one engine option? And
I don't know. I mean, we've seen the problems with trying to being all things to everybody, with the different options, and then kind of the opposite. It's like they've gone on both ends of the spectrum there.
yeah,
I don't know. I think maybe a select couple different, trim levels,
yeah,
and call it a day. Give them a little bit more than the Everglades, and probably not as much as a traditional Gen 6 Bronco. Although I would tell you, I would change out my letter. I'd change out my grill to do just the straightforward on the front side of the Bronco.
See, I'm just not a fan of that. I love the Gen 1 Broncos, don't get me wrong, and I like it on that. I don't know. I mean, but I'm not a fan of saying forward on the Raptors the way they do it on the Broncos either. I just think they could have done something on the Raptors.
That I don't like. That's too much.
The grill on the Raptors is way.
And I like the Bronco across the front.
Mm-hmm.
But I would rather just keep it forward so people would call it a Jeep.
Well, the fun thing about these grills are they're easily removable. Ford did this on purpose. They wanted this to be part of the modularity. Hey, if people want to, this week have Ford on the front of their Broncos, and 3 weeks down the road, put your old grill back. I will be curious if this is one of those hard to buy from a dealer things. I know some aftermarkets tried to replicate this a little bit. It looks pretty good, except for they try to cover up where they take the whole Bronco out of the grill. They kind of have this strange way of covering the rest of the open spaces up. But guys, in comments, where are you at with this? Are you excited for a Ford like this grill, a throwback grill? Or you just like, do you enjoy the Bronco the way it says Bronco? Ford's big thing with the Bronco was they wanted it to be its own brand, much like Mustang. They really would like to make a, it's kind of how it's went is now you have the EV and the regular Mustang. It's kind of becoming its own brand. Ford pushed hard to get dealers. They want dealers to have Bronco exclusive areas. There's not been a big buy-in on that one because, well, we're coming out of, post-pandemic times and, well, clearly, dealers are overcharging for a reason is because they don't have anything to sell. And I'm not justifying that by any means, but that's part of it. I don't know, Tim. I probably would, I guess maybe seeing it in person might change it a little bit. Does the grill look a little different in person than it does in these photos? Let's see if I got any better.
I can't tell if that's one of the, is that one of the lower trim grills? Yeah, it looks like it.
Well, it looks glossy though. It looks black glossy, which would match the roof a little bit. I don't know if they have anything better than this on the front. There we go. Make that a little bit bigger for you guys.
Okay, so it's like the upper trim level grill.
Yeah.
Like
It's well,
so like a wild
kind
track,
of,
like
kind
the wild
of.
track stuff.
But look where the way the Ford is. There's more grill to that than there is normally on like the Wild Track Badlands. But I don't know. It looks like it's going to get the halo. Those are the signature headlights from what I can tell. But on the two-door, it looks like they were just the normal LEDs.
Mobile Moto says it's the black diamond pattern.
Okay. Well, Black Diamond and Badlands, I think, are the same if I remember right. And Wild Track is glossy because the Outer Banks is basically the same as the Big Ben, except they do a black glossy piano style finish to the grill itself. I will say this bumper would be perfect for this model. I don't think you need to do the whatever they call it, the capable or modular bumper. If I'm going to do a Heritage Edition, I'm not going all out nuts with it. I'm going to keep it. It needs to be really simple, not, and I don't mean just simple as far as like you only get a 4-cylinder. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't have motor options in this thing. But I can also see why Ford would go, you're just going to get one motor and that's it. Which I do think eventually they do make the 2.7 more upper trim level exclusive motor. I can see them slowly in the next year or two going, base now is only a 4-cylinder, the turbo 4.
Yeah. And Peugeot's also saying in the comments that based on the zone lighting and the mirrors, that's probably either a high or a lux package.
Yeah. I do not. Yeah, that's true. I haven't noticed the lighting on that on the side there. And it seems like on that 2-door, it was a little bit different. I'll pull that back up in just a minute. Anything else stand out about the front of this thing to you, Tim?
Looks like maybe there's some beer holders here in the front bumper.
Okay. It does have its nipples pierced the way it looks there.
Yep.
Getting the fog lights on there, which I really wish on my Badlands, I wish they would have just offered this bumper for when I bought my Sasquatch Badlands and made that modular bumper optional like they do now, because it was a waste of money for me or a waste of metal on mine because I pulled it off as soon as I could. But it would have been nice to have the pre-wired fog lights for when I want to run something up front.
So you're asking, it's got the adaptive cruise control plate, but I do not see a forward camera on the front.
Nope, there's a camera in there. It's hard to see. Let's see. Oh man, it really let me zoom there. But there's a camera in between the O and the R there.
Is it? Okay.
I can see it on mine. I can't blow it up any bigger than what it is now. So I think there's the cameras under the mirrors there. I think that's what those little holes there are. So MGO's probably right. This probably is a higher lux package on this thing. But where you at? Let me let's see if there's any comments about this thing. And we have 117 in chat and only 59 likes. Smash that like button for me. At least do it for Bronco Santa down there. He came in last minute. He's my DH. He's my designated hitter, and he came in swinging, man. And he's got me a triple here. But let's see.
Gotta love that.
Well, let's see what we got here. Let's see. Nikki Brewer. I don't understand how a four-door can be labeled heritage. Definitely should have been available in the two-door. I totally agree. And once again, till we know these, we're speculating that these are heritage editions from the grill. I don't know how you could say it's not. But I'm 100%, man. I would do lower tech stuff. I would do like a mid package. Um, because part of the problem with Broncos right now is selling them is, well, we don't, chips. Oh, chips, chips, chips. And I'm sure there's the same amount of chips in the high package that there is the mid package, but you could kind of ease people's minds a little bit and be like, oh, it's an easier build for us if we do the lower trim packages.
Do you think? I mean, looking at today's people under 50,
I'm just barely there.
No, and I'm just right there. But people our age and younger, do you think they're going to want a stripped down vehicle on the tech? I don't think they will. I think that just looking back, I mean, I'm marveling at being able to back up, with the backup camera, and I don't think I'd ever own another vehicle without one.
Well, legally, I don't think you can anymore.
Well, but you get my point. That
yeah.
In there. I mean, I think that some of this stuff I've just grown accustomed to, and
but the part of the
I'd
problem
really
for me, if you're building a true off-road vehicle, like Jeep builds you, they can do you a sport, which is pretty basic. You get a lot of basic things. Of course, there's certain things they just have to have now.
Mhm.
I think for a true off-road vehicle, man, you don't need all the tech. And now the people that own the little Range Rovers and all that bought these things, once again, I'm not crapping on people that converted from a Range Rover to these things. I'm just saying you come from a $100,000 SUV, off-road SUV, which I would never really take off-road, into a $50,000 SUV. And suddenly a lot of those people do complain and they're like, oh, well, why didn't this have my Range Rover or whatever, or my Ford Explorer has this? And you're like, well, you're not buying that. You're buying a mid $50,000, and under. But, a loaded out Explorer, you can get $74,000 in a loaded out Explorer, but you're taking that same customer and trying to shove them into this, which everybody complains about road noise. It's a modular top. They're going to be a little noisier. So you're already adding complaints to it. I don't know. I don't know. The buying market on this thing is a little strange because, reports have come out that this isn't affecting Jeep sales at all. Like Ford has brought new customers to this segment of vehicles. So I don't know, Tim, maybe those guys, they want all the fancy bells and whistles, but how much more can you put in it besides backup camera, all the safety tech that you're getting? What is the next safety thing they're going to put in these things? Because a couple years down the road, there's something new they're going to have to shove in this thing. Does it transform into Optimus Prime or something? I mean, is that the next step?
It could. I think you're starting to see a lot of integration, especially with Apple, and I think Apple and that partnership with Apple and Ford is something you'll start seeing. Maybe some autonomous driving, or not. Kind of like the was it the Blue Cruise?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you might see something like that in there, and I kind of think people, if they're going to do hardcore heavy off-roading or wheeling or whatever, go build a buggy. Build something that's a little bit more purpose built. And something like this. I've talked about it. I'm not big on rock, crawling or anything like that. I just want a very capable vehicle so I can go wherever I want to go.
Right.
Do whatever, pull a trailer, have fun, and not be nervous that I'm going to get stuck somewhere.
Right. Well, I think your comment
down to Tennessee to come get me.
Your comments are based around that you don't go off-roading like a lot of people do. We'll say that own the Jeep Wrangler. You're not accustomed to doing what they're doing with that. And of course, obviously this is just as capable of doing it, but there is that Jeep crowd that, they get into. Some like to go run through mud, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. Mud just seems to tear up more.
Troll around in a park in Florida and look like a bunch of ants in an ant farm.
Well, you just
I've seen that too.
But no, I mean, there is a crowd for that, obviously, and you go out to Glamis in California, it's the same sort of crowd. That's the terrain they have, is they going to go run through the dunes. And while I've never experienced true dunes, so I'm going to be Mr. Grumpy Bear on like, I don't get that. I think if you came to Windrock with me and we went around some of the more mild trails, I think it would open up your mind and go, oh, okay, I do see
Oh,
why.
yeah, Dave. I'm not saying I wouldn't do that. I'd go have fun, but it's just not one of my, hardcore rock climbing is not.
Yeah.
But I would go to Moab if you wanted to trailer my Bronco out there for me, and
Oh yeah, I'll just put it on the back of my Bronco and we'll
there
just
we
go to
go.
town, right?
Yeah.
One of my best friends, Jim, who's been on some of my videos, he was talking about that. We were hanging out this weekend and he was saying, he's like, man, it's a bummer your Moab trip got canceled, but he said it's kind of a good thing. He said, because I kind of want to go out there with you. And he said, but I just want to fly out there. And I was like,
I'm
what?
with him, dude.
I
I'm
said,
like,
well,
if
we
it's
could
6-8 hours tops, is all I want to drive.
sometimes the adventure is getting there, Tim.
That's
You know what I
true.
mean? I mean that
I hear
I will
you.
say the drive through Kansas is the worst drive ever. And if you live in Kansas, I apologize to you. You have nothing to look at except windmills and road that just keeps going, and that one toll booth for whatever reason in the middle of Kansas where they're like, hey, let's get a couple dollars out of these people for driving on our road.
There you
Uh,
go.
but no, that's horrible. But once you get to Colorado, you start getting a little hills, and it's beautiful drive. And driving, I'm telling you, the drive from Denver to Grand Junction to Moab is the most scenic drive you can ever do. And I've been on the one out in California, the coastal highway, and now I haven't done the whole damn thing. But um, I think that the drive from there is just some of the best scenery that you, because in May you can go through a blizzard in Denver or in the passes right outside of Denver. You get, and it's 30 degrees, maybe lower. You get a couple 100 miles away and you're in Grand Junction and it's 75, it's tan out, it's real cool looking. Then you get to Moab, it could be 80. I don't know, man. That's just one of the best drives I've ever been on. If you guys have ever drove this, let me know in the comments, by the way. Impa Show, what has he got going? Since you asked, missing NV thermal and MG mounts. What do we got going on there, man?
Night vision, thermal,
Oh,
and minigun.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Sorry. I'm not as pew pew as Tim is.
You don't
Yes,
live
there
the
should have been
pew-pew life.
on that the obviously, the porthole mount should have a little 50 cal that comes out of there, correct? I mean, that's
Oh,
the
I think
idea of
so.
that turret, right?
I think so.
They were thinking, well, these will go to
I
the
think I think
Middle
those
East,
fog
right?
lights, should drop down and some minigun barrels come out.
Well, of course, man.
Yeah,
Then it can be called the Warthog, right?
absolutely.
Which is still, in my opinion, the Raptors should have been called the Warthog, by the way.
Yeah, some people get hung up on that Raptor name.
I know, man. I
That could
gotta
have
let it
started a
go.
whole new thing.
Yep.
Good luck.
Nick says, I do not need all that technology. I agree, man. I some days I look at my little 8-inch screen. I'm like, it would have been cool to have like, the 12-inch. You have, right, Tim? You have the upper package.
I do, yes.
Sometimes I look at that and go, man, that would be great. Especially for when I've used Onyx with on my screen. You're like, oh man, that 12-inch having that as the full off-road screen, that would be really cool. But at the end of the day, for what it would have cost me,
Yeah.
another $5,000. I don't
So
know.
so with Onyx, it uses CarPlay or
Mhm.
so it doesn't do the full screen, but it
Does it?
does
Well,
the
pretty close, right? Or
2/3,
does it still
whatever.
do the? Does it? Because I know what the high and Lux, they have that little side panel too, right?
Right. So you got that also on the
So
12-inch screen.
you can't extend it out all the way.
No, not to my knowledge.
That is a new one to me. I did not
Yeah.
know that. I know you can
So
move
yeah,
those
it's still the
screens
two
around a little
panel.
bit, but
You can shift some of the stuff around, like the maps and the audio and things like that. But CarPlay stays in the big section there.
right. Okay. Let's see. I meant to get to this one. I'm in my 60s and there is a 12-inch screen. I never look at the backup cameras, mirrors all the way. I was taught, that's how I was taught. You always use mirrors. My dad used to get
Yep.
mad if I turned my back to look when I was backing up. He would get in my ass about it. He'd be like, look, use the mirrors. I mean, he said, obviously be aware of your surroundings. Don't be stupid. But
Oh,
and I would practice driving. My parents had a probably 80, 90 foot gravel driveway, and I had to back out of that thing every time, man. And yeah, I'm definitely with you on team mirrors.
So I would say that, I only had mirrors 2 when I went to driver's ed a few years ago,
Mhm.
but I don't discount the cameras. I tell you what, I've got young kids. I know, people had run over bicycles, and my parents
Oh,
did that when I was younger.
yeah.
Ran over a bicycle or something that we were dumb enough to leave in the driveway. So
Well,
I think there's a very good reason to use them.
oh no, there's definitely been children,
Yeah.
sadly, hit by cars that way. But I will say these sensors in the back of my Bronco are pretty damn good. It definitely I'll go to back out of my driveway and there'll be cars 100 feet down and it's already picking them up.
Mhm.
And I have caught it where it stopped me before, where there was something behind me, like I was a car or something. I think I was at a drive-in or something at a Sonic or something. I went to back out and somebody I just didn't catch that they'd pulled out quickly. And it definitely they work. I will say that stuff, that tech does work.
Yeah.
But as far as the Heritage Edition, in my opinion, less is more with this one. It just shouldn't be, because I don't know what are you getting besides a Ford badging then? Say they do, oh, we're going to do, much like Sasquatch, Heritage Edition across the board for whatever silly reason. We'll just play in Wonderland. Base, guess what? You get a Heritage Edition. Well, Christ, man, what am I getting? A grill? And there's an upcharge to this. They're not doing all this special grilling and wheels without an upcharge. Because what Everglades is what, $55,000, something like that, for the Everglades with a 4-cylinder.
Sounds about right.
And square fenders, and yes, the snorkel, but there's
Don't
really not
don't
a lot
don't
about that.
forget the awesome badging on the side. That right there does it for everybody.
The billboard,
Yeah.
I've tried to forget about that ever since I've seen it at Supercell.
So, but that billboard actually looks pretty good on that gray one, that new gray they've got out. You liking it, don't you?
I love the Leadfoot gray. That's for damn
There you go.
sure.
See?
Well, it does. I will say this: that color hides the billboard a little bit, or makes it blend a little bit. I think that tan that they're using, that kind of
Mhm.
khaki, causes it to just like it's a billboard. Then, where the Leadfoot gray definitely makes it hide in there a little more appealing. Yes, but would I own that vehicle? No, not at all. Let's see if I can. Now you got me wanting to find that, Tim. Jeez, what are you doing to me?
Sorry.
Let's see. So, Tim, what have you been doing with your vehicle? Anything? Have you dropped any cool videos lately?
No. Did the oil change thing. Just kind of, once again, not trying to be a how-to video, but more of a, hey, you can do this too. And it doesn't take very many specialty tools to do those kind of things. Let's see. I was at the country club today.
Yeah.
And I was actually, people do leg day at the gym. I go to the country club, do personal caliber carbine day.
Nice. There it is.
Sitting here trying to think about how maybe, I could get the club to allow me to host maybe a Broncos and bullets. You know how they do Broncos and or cars and coffee.
Mhm.
Maybe do Broncos and bullets, and
Or maybe Broncos and drive-bys.
no drive-bys. No, we have a gated club. We're exclusive, and just basically I don't know, do something, do a get together, and maybe teach a little gun safety and teach people how to shoot.
Yes, definitely. People need to be safety. So here is the Leadfoot gray Everglades, and this is all leading, by the way, to the colors, the little chart that I've got. Yes, Leadfoot gray. Kelly loves dark grays like this, and had this been an option from the get-go, even though I think Rapid Red is beautiful, and she does too, I think the more practical side, I think we would have picked this color right here, man. No doubt about it.
I'm looking at the wheels, so it definitely looks like these are slightly different than the ones that they had on the other.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah, these are
Similar in nature, but
yeah, the
slightly
other one's
different.
what you get, what, 4 little round rec or whatever you want to call the little holes. They are definitely a little bit different.
Did the other one have did it have the 315 70R17s?
Yep.
Okay.
My understanding, let's
The
see.
Goodyear Wrangler tires.
Let me and pull that back up. Now you got me wanting to double check all this stuff because that's something I haven't even noticed those wheels. There we go. Get a little bit. There we go. There's a better side by side. So yeah, so there is the Heritage Edition style wheel. So it's pretty close. I mean, you're getting only like I said, the 4 little cutouts in the wheels, more like what the old Steelies were versus here's the Leadfoot Gray that you're getting. Looks like 5. But similar, but
Those almost look like they have a beadlock ring on them.
yeah, but these don't have these are just styled like that. These are definitely these are not beadlock capable wheels. Either are not. A couple things that stands out about this Everglades though, that soft top. Everglades was an exclusive hard top. Now suddenly we're seeing them with soft top. It's kind of strange, right?
Well, we've seen that the take rate on the Everglades hasn't been very high. I'm wondering if they're making some modifications to try to boost sales a little bit.
Probably trying to lower the cost just a little bit, I would say. But what in reality, I know people go, well, the hard top option was only like 600 plus to get it, but in reality, Ford is losing money on that top. When they sell it to you for $600, they're losing money on that top. In reality, it probably costs them at minimum $1,500, to do. So maybe that's part of it is going, hell, let's make it a little bit cheaper.
Well, keep in mind, you don't have the cost of the soft top either when they do a hard top. So they charge you 600, but you also have the initial cost of a top.
No,
right,
but
on top of it. So,
but I know Jeep is $1,500 or whatever more to add the hard top to theirs. But there's certain parts like that they will lose money on, especially coming out of the box, out of the gate like this. They definitely are willing to lose a little bit of money on certain parts to get the brand out there. So the wheels are different. The top is different. Something I don't know if this is anything to notice, but I've noticed these little fins that they're putting on the mirrors. Mine do not have that. I wonder if it's something about they're trying to change the arrow around the whistling of those mirrors, because you get mine about 63, 64 miles an hour, and it's right under the mirror where the 2 seams come together, and you can hear it just start whistling. And I wonder if there's something they're trying to do there with that, or is this just a styling cue?
Could be a styling cue. Could be, well, it is slightly different because it doesn't have the zone lighting. So I'd be curious to see what maybe that looks like on another vehicle without the upgraded tech package.
In the billboard, kind of beating this dead horse, but if they would have just done this Everglades, and they could have done the tick mark somehow, just vinyl lines on there, I think it would have been so much better than this. I mean, look at it. The way that it's reflecting there, it's half of the fender. And I know, like Airplane Mike and a few guys that have bought these things or have them on order, they're excited by it. But I have heard a few people that have ordered these are like, the first thing I do is taking that badging off. So,
well, I will admit that's probably not for everybody.
Yeah, it's not for me, definitely.
And honestly, I would be happy without anything on mine. And
you didn't like the Badlands?
Well, my goal was to peel it off, but when I got it, I got a little bit, I warmed up to it. I just don't like stickers on my vehicle. It just,
man, my vinyl must really kill you then.
No, that looks different. That to me just is different. I think it goes with all the people that live just south of me down where Indiana University's at, where they, they buy a brand new car, then slap 45 bumper stickers on it. It just causes me to, my stomach to turn over. So.
I will say too, of course, we're getting the, and Peugeot mentioned it on the Heritage Edition. They're starting to finally get the body matching color security pad there, which should have been from day one. I mean, day one, that should not have whoever from Ford was like, you know what? Nah, we don't need the body color matching. And why they don't put that on this post right here that doesn't remove it all and do it up and down like they do on about every other vehicle, I don't understand. But maybe it's stick
Isn't that
factor.
removable?
It is. It's just like 3M tape that holds it on there.
Oh, I thought it
Um,
had a magnet on it.
no, it's
I thought it had a magnet so you could stick it on the aluminum door
oh no, they're doing
or aluminium.
wow, come on Wolverine. Um, but no, I think the black top with this especially looks great. It does go with the black or the dark gray and does make the Everglades match. The wheels with that black hard top look great. Can you imagine this setup with just this color with a black painted hard roof? I
No,
mean, that's
I do agree there that that darker gray would lend itself better to a dark glossy roof or
or
just darker roof
yeah,
than what the standard mic top is.
because I think the mic top on this one's going to really stand out. Like it's like a sore thumb kind of stand out because it the mic top doesn't really match the fenders all that well. It's close in color, but it's a little lighter gray to me than what the plastic fenders are. And I may be off, Tim. You live with one every day. You may be like, ah, you're just crazy. But when I see them in photos, it always just looks just a little bit lighter than what it should. But oh, producer Kelly's in the house. I see her in the back room, though she won't come on camera. I can guarantee you that. Kelly, you have been missed. So you know. Of course,
Nikki,
you get.
well, I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say Nikki Brewer there says that the dark gray would look good with purple accents.
Nikki, would you like to be kicked out of this live stream because you are crazy? I'm playing, of course. Purple accents. That's funny. Let's see. Aluminum is not magnetic, Tim. Jeez. Though there is a company out there making trail armor, and somehow they're getting it to stick to this aluminum. I don't know how they say it's magnetic of some sorts. I don't know how they're doing it, but it's the goofiest thing I've ever seen, man. It's
You
it's
glue metal, you glue a ferrous metal on the aluminum, and then you can stick it on there.
okay. That
There you
makes
go.
sense. That makes sense.
Or glue
Um,
magnets onto the aluminium.
let's see what we got going on here. Everybody's talking. They got their own chat going again.
That's how we roll, Dave.
I know, Nikki. I have to agree. A 820 reservations. I've been sidelining with all the production issues. Antimatter blue cancellation. Everglades 2-3 only. Think I'm back for a 23, and that is a great segue, Don. Thank you. It's like Don's running the show for me because color previews. Let me fix. Let's get me and Tim out of the way here. So this little bit of news popped up this week, and it's kind of interesting. I don't it looks official, and I know the person in this, they posted the link of where they got it from. It was from a dealer's deal. But I'm a little I don't know that these are all the colors they're going to do because we just saw Leadfoot Gray on a Bronco. Tim, have you seen any of these colors? Any opinions on anything new there?
Um, yeah, and I think to your point though, there's 11 colors here. And if
Yeah,
I'm not mistaken,
they
map can shoot 12, right?
12 is my understanding. Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks like maybe one might be missing.
Mm-hmm.
That might be their special color of the year. I don't know.
I wish they would do a like Jeep does. Every 6 months you get a special, like Jeep does 2 colors. Right now they've got a weird, Nikki would love it, a weird purple. It's kind of I don't know what color you would call it. And then they've got kind of a light blue, kind of a babyish blue that looks really good. More of a metal flake, but
Hmm.
so right now let's see, we got what potential. I
Well,
stress potential because we just saw an antimatter 2-door that's not on this list. So maybe they
no,
were doing
antimatter blue is on there.
or not, I'm sorry, Area 51.
Hmm.
Um, and it's strange that antimatter blue is back on the list. Now I know that was a color Ford took a lot of heat about, that people were waiting and waiting to get, they wanted that color. And me and Kelly's mentioned many times, I would have chose that had I saw it on a Bronco. Like not the goofy paint cans, which they were doing the best they could.
You know,
It didn't sell it for me.
and what's interesting, I was talking to the GM over at the dealership. He was telling me we were talking about the antimatter blue, and he said that on the Bronco it looks completely different because he's got an antimatter blue Bronco
Mm-hmm.
2-door with a hardtop. But he said that like that color on an F-150, they look completely different.
Yeah, no doubt on that. That particular color is one of those. It just looks different, and when
Mhm.
we've seen it on the now, obviously, pictures don't do it justice because it
No, it
always looks
doesn't.
black. It for whatever reason, you never get that cool pearl in it or whatever it is that kind of gives it the little bit of changing of the colors.
Got to
But
get the
no,
sun
it's
on it, and that color will breathe.
yeah. But from what this has is velocity blue metallic, hot pepper red metallic, which I can't believe the take rate on that color was not a lot. So I can't believe that color came back. Obviously, eruption green, that seems to be the color of the year. There was a lot of people that loved that color. Shadow black, there's a couple staple colors, black, silver, and white are always going to be on these lists. They're never going to not have those. Azure gray metallic tricoat.
It's
This
pronounced
should be
azure.
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 I've not had enough whiskey just yet, Tim. Sorry.
It's blue. Means blue.
Yes, it means
Azure.
it's
Blue.
a strange boot, but I can see this definitely taking Area 51's spot. It's in the same kind of palette.
And I don't disagree with that. And I tell you, as somebody that owns Area 51, there's, I picked the color that I thought was going to be the least popular
Mhm.
because I wanted to be different, and it turns out to be the most popular.
Got the most.
So I think it would probably be good for Ford to pull that color anyways for a couple cycles, and let some other ones get in there.
Yeah. What else we got here? Antimatter blue metallic. If this is true, making a comeback would be kind of strange. And can you imagine how pissed off you would be if you ordered in 20, you did the reservation, then you got your order in January 21. That was your color.
Yeah.
Then you get pushed back. They made you order a 22, and then you get or say you got an early 22 in January, February, and then you find out 6 months later that Ford kind of gives you the finger and is like, "Hey, here's your color back." Because
Man.
I would be, I don't care if it's a base $30,000. That's a lot of money, and a lot of people have waited so long in these vehicles. Like, oh, I might be a little upset about it. Now, what are you going to do about it? Cry about it on the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it.
Well, the other thing that I am a little, I'm not gonna say concerned, but with the antimatter blue, I mean, we talked about that in the rapid, not the rapid red, but is it rapid red or race red?
Rapid red's what I have.
Well, both of those are on there. No, I'm sorry, race red's on there. But both of those colors were a difficult color to spray.
Well, race red's not because there's no metallic to it, but a rapid red was, yes, it's a tinted clear coat on that one.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it seems if they had pulled it because maybe they were having a hard time with it, it would seem odd that maybe they would bring it back.
Yeah, no,
Unless they weren't having problems with it, and that was just.
Well, Mitchell with Town and Country was talking about the antimatter blue he said that is the hardest color for a body shop to fix. And of course, they get some damage from time to time. And before they're sold, they can repair that vehicle and you do not get notice of it. If that thing, half the fender was crunched until you buy it, they do not have to disclose any of that stuff. Now, Mitchell, the way he talked was they would let a customer know if, hey, this came in damaged, we're repairing it.
Now, what I remember from that conversation, I think if it got damaged in transit, their body shop was like the one for that area to do them all, whether they was coming to their Ford or their dealership or not.
Right.
But I think those have to be disclosed. It's the one before it actually leaves the facility when it's still in the hands of the manufacturer.
I'm pretty sure that Mitchell said that he said his dealership does disclose those things. He said, but it's up to the dealership before point of sale. They don't have to disclose it. It'll never hit Carfax. And these things definitely get damaged in transit. We've seen a bunch of the rear tailgates where they're getting hit in the cargo. Somehow they're moving around something and they're crushing those in just a little bit. Of course, on those, I guarantee they replace the whole tailgate and they're done with it.
You almost have to. I think that's an area that Ford could do some improvement.
Yeah. Guys, if you guys would smash that like button for me, I greatly would appreciate that. And I appreciate all the super chats that we've gotten so far tonight. And my one sales pitch of the night, I do this once and I'm not going to hit you up. We have memberships It's $5 a month. It just helps support the channel. Believe it or not, there's a lot of cost to doing this. This is not a free show by any means. So if you like what we do here and want to help support us, it's that way. We're working on doing something with Patreon. I know some people like Patreon. I'm looking at you, Andy, if you're watching this in replay, because I don't see you here. I know you like Patreon. But the biggest news of the past week was YouTube dropping the ability for my Teespring, my shirts and all that stuff. I'm able to drop it in the chat now. It should be pinned in the chat. You see my little mug there, and it's on the website now, or on the YouTube page now. So if you want to support us that way, do it. So
lucky you.
Yeah. So
I don't get any of that love because I don't even have enough subscribers yet.
Yeah, go subscribe to Bronco or Overlanding for Fun.
But
Tim needs the love.
I do have a shop.
He'll grow his. He'll cut his beard in a heartbeat if he doesn't get 1,000 subs this year. I guarantee it,
man. Dude.
Come on, guys! Hashtag cut the beard for 1,000.
Oh man, I know.
Trim the beard.
I cannot
trim the beard.
No, I did trim it up, but no, I won't cut it.
Well, I'm trying to get
I actually use a product called
subs.
I use a product called Grave Before Shave, and I live the life, man. You know how like Harley riders they live the life. I live the beard life.
Huh? How long have you been growing that thing?
Well, I've had something for probably 20 years, but
let's see. I haven't shaved in a week.
Yeah.
My baby skin. It just rejects the beard hair. Not enough testosterone, I guess.
They can help you out with that, Dave.
But anyways, if there's mugs and there's all kinds of stuff there, I try to do those as cheap as possible. So there, trust me, YouTube puts up this, hey, insert ad here. And I try not to do that because you guys have always supported me that way. And I know there's been a couple where we've tried that place ad here where my live stream options, and people kind of go, hey, what the hell is up with that? And so I've tried to quit doing that. But and YouTube has not been super kind to us with their ad revenues. Since the pandemic's over, they've cut their ad revenue in half. So anyways, so that's all the sales pitch for me. Kelly, I believe, has something highlighted here. Iconic Bronco. Have y'all checked out the APG Bronco Pro Runner build? I have not, or if I have, that name doesn't stick with me. I can tell Kelly's not in the room with me because she highlighted this one for me to talk about. You'll hit puberty soon, Dave. I'm hoping by 50 in Peugeot that puberty kicks in for me, but it's not looking good.
You know what? I heard it's the little worm in the bottle of tequilas. The original Mezcal, I think, was what it was. You need to eat those worms, and then your beard will grow.
Right. So antimatter blue, I will say that it is interesting to see that one back up there. I can say that was the one color I seen them take a lot of heat about. My Rapid Red, nobody really said too much about it. Once again, I think if people would have saw Rapid Red in person, because I get a lot of comments about how cool the red looks, but it was one of those that on their paint can didn't do it justice. But let's see, Iconic Silver Metallic, not going anywhere. That's a staple. Carbonized Gray Metallic. Cactus Gray, which I can see that one. Not, I don't think it's as popular as Area 51, but I
think it was up there in the second or third.
Yeah, I think it's just throwback enough though that one sticks around for another year. Race Red's never going anywhere. That's just a staple color in Oxford White. But Tim, as you did the math, there is missing one color on there, and
I think it's going to be mint green.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You think that they're going to do
Ford's got it too. I saw a mint green Ford tonight. I can't remember what the model was, but
do they have the balls for that?
Come on, Jim. Let's do it.
Hey, get Jim on the line for me. Kelly, right. Kelly, get the CEO on the line. I want to talk to him.
I think he will. I think he'll I think Mitchell can hook us up. I think he can hook us up with Jim Farley for a live on
well, we can call him John.
We'll get him on the happy hour.
We'll
so
just start calling him John. Call him John Farley or something.
Yeah.
But no, so they need some more exciting colors on. This is a pretty bland palette though overall. Like it's pretty mute.
Well, I will agree. I think you had mentioned it earlier. Jeep does a pretty good job of mixing up their colors, and I think they've had a few that Ford's done with I think the Mustang.
Mm-hmm.
They've had some different kind of flashier colors, and maybe a Bronco needs a little flashier color.
some sort of a lime green or something. And
Yeah.
it's Jeep does pretty well with those colors, and they don't do them every year. So it's something that they'll do for 6 months, take it away for a couple years, and then they bring it back. These style vehicles, it's not a. I'll say Ford seems to be stuck in their palette of what they do for F-150 and Mustang with what I'm seeing, and they don't go too crazy. Now Ford did do there was what that purple they were doing on the GT 500s and stuff that was pretty cool, pretty exciting for Ford. But they seem to be stuck in about what every other manufacturer does. They get their dozen colors and they're just going to wear you out with them for about 5 years and then move on to the same bland dozen colors.
Yeah.
But for me, this vehicle needs some pop, and
Well,
I've not seen if these are the colors. I don't Velocity Blue would be about the most pop I see there.
yeah. I think they could also add maybe just a little chia pet green to the mix.
Of course. Well,
I think
I seen Chia Pet Green in Vegas last year.
I know, and I think that would be a good addition to it. But I agree. They need some pop. They're pretty solid colors. They're not.
Mhm.
There's not much flash to them, and maybe that I don't know. Maybe that's the thought. You're talking about the F-150. It's probably the truck division that's overseeing the Bronco anyway. So you're
Yeah.
probably going to get that same
Well,
mindset.
so we know. I'm pretty sure Ranger gets Velocity Blue. I know it gets Red Hot Chili Pepper. Shadow Black it
Mm.
gets. The Silver it gets. The Oxford White it gets. They do it in a Cactus Gray. I'm not sure on Race Red if they do it. But it's the same colors they're going to put on Ranger. Now with Ranger, with the next gen Ranger coming, does that mean by 23? Because next gen Ranger, they start building them next year. It's a mid-cycle build. If last I was told, it's a mid-cycle startup for the next gen Ranger. Do they, with that being something exciting new, we're going to get a Raptor version for the Ranger? I mean, obviously they're going to do that Ford Performance, whatever they call the Code Orange or whatever it is. That's going to be a staple for that color.
Mm.
Code Orange is on the Raptor. I don't know. Oh, and can you imagine Raptor in anti-blue, matter blue? Boy, those fenders would hide real well in that color. Because if the fenders
That
that
they
are on the
would.
Raptor, they've got that little sparkle to them anyways, built into that fender. That might
You sure
make me like
that
that a
was
little bit.
sparkle?
Yeah, there was a little
I
kind of a metal flakish in the plastic.
I think that was some stripper glitter.
Mm.
That's what that was. I don't think that was part of the.
Oh, matter of fact, now that I think about it, I wasn't even at a car show. I was in this block building. There's a lot of loud music,
Blacked out windows
fire.
and a DJ,
Yeah,
an
it was a lot
obnoxious
of a
DJ.
fireman pole or something. I don't know where I was, Tim, but no, I do like antimatter blue on a Raptor would be cool. But do you think these colors are valid? Because like I said, the person put they put the where they got it from. There is the website that it came from. It's a dealer connection. So I'm assuming it's legit, especially if you look at the browser that they have there. There's Ford Credit. There's their WBDO, which is how they do their ordering. But I just can't imagine that's all the colors that this thing's, that you're sticking with.
We'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Well, I think we're going to know next month. I
Yeah.
think the Woodford Dream Cruise is coming up. And let me ask you this, Tim.
Yes, sir.
If which would you do? Would you do the Dream Cruise or would you go to Vegas for SEMA? If you had to choose one, and why I'm asking you this is, obviously I just talked about the ad revenue down for YouTube. I don't know. I have to kind of choose my fall travel a little bit more selective because of everything being down. So
Personally, I'd go to the Dream Cruise.
well, it's closer.
Well, then you get to hang out with me.
Oh, are you going to the Dream Cruise?
I would definitely go if you're going.
Wow.
I mean, you could even just drive by and pick me up.
Do a drive-by?
You could drive by, pick me up.
I don't know. I
don't know, man. I'm just kind of. SEMA doesn't really excite me. It was kind of cool that first year when Bronco was still a super unicorn. Now it's just kind of a unicorn. And there's enough of them out there that people can see them. I don't honestly think that you're really going to see a whole lot in the aftermarket space for Broncos. I mean, there'll be things that people are doing, but I don't know. I kind of feel like there's enough of them out there that people are just going to start taking it to market.
Yeah. Well, so if we did the Dream Cruise, anybody and there's I got a lot of people from the Detroit area that listen. We could do a meetup, and we could cruise the strip together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking
That's right.
that might be the way to go. In the comments below, let's do this. Let's put a poll up for that one. And Tim, if you will entertain our guests while I do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Nikki Brewer says Ford won't be at SEMA, so come to Detroit. And I have to agree.
Well, they will be at they're going to announce something. F-150, they haven't said what they're doing Bronco just yet, but it did come out that they're going to have some special F-150 stuff. And the Dream Cruise, no matter what, is just a fun day and a half of because that road is so long.
And will there be a special pothole lane for 4-wheel drives only? Off-road vehicles.
All right.
No, I think it'd be a good.
The poll is up. So you guys fill this poll out, answer it, and we will abide by whatever you say. How about that? So the power to the people.
Heck yeah,
so
man.
Me and Kelly will do that.
Go through Louisville,
mm-hmm.
catch 502 Bourbon Crew.
Yeah.
Pack up the drum kit.
I'll grab my guitar.
Come a little bit further north up 65. Grab me.
I just need a bass player. If we get a bass player, I've heard Bourbon Cruise. They know some blues songs.
I'm sure there is an out of work pizza delivery driver right now that you can use for a bass player.
Speaking of which, I went and saw my band that traveled, my little alternative rock band from the 90s. I went and saw my lead guitar player from that band this weekend, and brought back a lot of memories. Kelly asked me, because Kelly's never got to see me perform, and she goes, "Hey, did that make you really miss playing?" And I was like, not at all. Not at all. I don't want to be in my 50s playing the same, because he literally was in, and I love the dude to death, but they played all kinds of fun songs and some covers and originals, but it was like almost the same set list that I played in the 90s. I was like, you know what?
Wow.
I don't miss that at all.
So real quick, if somebody could clip Dave saying Kelly's never had a chance to see me perform.
Hey.
Clip that and make a meme out of it. And then, I know what you're saying. I've done so much sound production. You get to working with a band. You hear it. You get so used to how they sing a song,
mm-hmm.
and then you hear like the original artist sing it, and you're like, man, they're screwing it up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, I'm not fun to go see bands with at all. I've had a lot of friends that, knowing that I was a musician, they were like, "Oh man, I bet you're so much fun." I'm like, "No, I'm the worst person ever to go see live music with, because I nitpick the shit out of it, man."
Yep.
All right, let's see what. Dream Cruise is starting to win out like it's not even close, man.
All right, well that's 16 votes there, by the way. At least
I know
what I'm seeing.
We've got
195 in the chat, 96 in the chat, 16 votes. I'm sure we got to have some opinions out there.
Maybe, but
and
right now,
Infrazo, you cannot vote twice.
Kelly's probably because she's told me she's just putting up some stuff, but she's not actually listening, and she's gonna find out that hey, guess what? We're going to Michigan. We're not going to Vegas. But I will say Vegas last year for SEMA, and I hate that it's come down to this, and I don't want to disclose any money stuff really on the channel, but the ad revenue was paying pretty good during the pandemic. Was I getting rich for it? No, but it did allot me to go travel maybe more, or plan to travel more than I thought we were going to get to. And the SEMA last year was a lot of fun. It was good content. But I said it was the year of the Bronco. Tim, I think this year might be the year of the Bronco, because last year they couldn't get their hands on anything. You got to think about SEMA was in 1st of November.
Yeah.
By then, they were being, Broncos were being delivered, but those guys need some build time. It's not like they're not just getting it over the weekend. They're not out in their garage slapping something on there. You got manufacturers really wanting to put their products on there. They got to test fit things, and you can't test fit things and it just be okay for SEMA
Yeah.
because, well, we've seen poor welding, but it's got to look the part anyways, because people are there to buy product. That's the idea of SEMA. It's not a car show for the general public. It's a buying show. It's what it's about, and obviously press and a lot of people that don't belong there get to go there. But so I don't know. I am a little torn on it because Vegas, as far as Vegas, doesn't do anything for me. I'm not like, oh boy, I'm going to gamble or whatever. I think most of the food places are overrated. We went to whatever the spiky haired, blonde haired dude from
Guy.
Guy Fieri or whatever his name is. Place was horrible in my opinion. Just god awful. And I guess it relies on people being drunk enough going, oh man, maybe I'll see him if we stop there.
Yeah.
But no, it was garbage. So I did have fun. There was a good cover band next to Guy Fieri's that was playing some Tool, which I was like, hell yeah, man, a cover band playing Tool. I was like, well, that's fun.
You gotta love that.
Yeah, but after that, Vegas was like, if we could get out of there, faster the better. But
I hear people get wild and crazy in Vegas.
Yeah,
clothes come off.
Well,
what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Well, herpes doesn't. That shit comes back.
That's right. That's the gift that keeps on giving.
I love that line in Wedding Crashers because the old dude's like, he's letting him take the Mercedes or whatever, and he's like, hey, remember, and this is potential dad-in-law. It's like, whatever happens to Vegas, my lips are sealed or whatever, and he's like, you're just being funny. He's like, except herpes. Or something about an STD. That comes back with you. Right now, wow, 85% say Dream Cruise. That's only 26 votes though, so we'll leave that up for a couple more minutes. But no, I think it might be fun to do a meet and greet. What have they been talking about in the chats? Let's see. Show says YouTube is screwing content creators. Never count on YouTube revenue to make this work. No, that's part of the problem. Is that's why you see mugs and stuff up there, and people
mugs.
want it. If people want it, I have one of the early version mugs sitting up on the deal there. But some people like that stuff. I have lots of shirts and stuff we sell. If you go over to Altering Nation, shop around, do whatever. Let's see. Nothing sadder than seeing Rod Stewart or Mick Jagger come out with their walkers. Don says, I agree, man. When the Rolling Stones did the Super Bowl about 10 years ago, that was horrible. It was like a cover band doing, and one of the best ones was Tom Petty, in my opinion, of the recent years, and Prince. Prince probably for the past 20 years is by far the best halftime show for me.
In my opinion, Prince is the ultimate guitarist and musician.
I don't find him to be. I think he was a good guitar player, but I don't find him to be a top 10 guitar player. But Joe, and that's my opinion. That's my opinion. I mean, but then again, I've heard a lot of. I'm in Nashville, man. The worst guitar players here are some of the most amazing guitar players you'd ever hear. Joe says Dream Cruise to the Golden Corral. I love that. That could be a bumper sticker. Right there. That could be a bumper sticker. Dream Cruise to the Golden Corral. By the way, guys, we have and I don't know that Tim knows this, but I have a podcast. We rebroadcast these from time to time, and they're Altering Nation podcast. So wherever you get your podcasting from. Let's see. Sorry, I'm going through the channels or the chat here real quick. Nikki Brewer says Ford won't be at SEMA. Come to Detroit. I don't know. It keeps up. Ford won't be in Detroit either. They'll all be in Mexico.
Looks like Airplane Mike has got to take off and head to work. So
hey, you stay safe out there, sir. Thank you for joining along. Springsteen Flow says, what's up, Hunter? Nick says, hi, Hunter. Man, very friendly group in there. Very friendly group. And we are at 98 likes. Guys, you guys rock it. I greatly appreciate that.
All right. Okay, stop. I'm sorry. Show.
Uh-oh.
Prince is not second to. No. Get Yeah, go watch the video, the remastered video of My Guitar Gently Weeps from I believe it was the Hall of Fame or Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing
Oh yeah, that
with
was
Prince,
good.
Tom Petty,
Yeah.
Winwood, the whole nine yards,
Well,
and watch that man
and you see
rip.
the insecure of that guy. Like when he's up there on stage with all those people, if you really watch his eyes and stuff, he's definitely like doesn't you can tell he doesn't think he belongs there. And he's a Hall of Fame musician. Don't get
Oh
me
no
wrong.
no 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 no! He's he's an introvert, right?
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
but I'm saying you can
that's
definitely tell his hesitation to be
mm.
up there with those guys. Let's see. Any suggestions for improving sound quality, like adding Dynamat or Marine speakers? RPG, which system do you have already? Because there's a couple different things you can do. The sound system in the Bronco is probably the worst I've ever heard. So anything would be an improvement. I will say if you had just the lower trims, like a mid and down, adding speakers. I've put 4-inch kicker speakers in my the dash and in the back pods. The back pods are a waste to do anything. Just a waste. There's no volume to moving air around to make those sound. And Tim, you would know this better than anybody.
Yep.
There's no cabinet there to allow the speakers to do anything, and it's a 4-inch speaker. Like it's a mid speaker in reality. It's not a for highs or lows. It's really just for mids.
So I haven't popped that cover off. Is it a coaxial speaker or is it just a 4-inch mid?
It's a 4-inch mid.
Yeah.
I put dual tweeter mid-range speakers back in mine with the kickers, and I've had to play with the sound a little bit. But my understanding is, and I didn't realize this till a week or so ago, that is if you go into the foreskin,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
that you can activate the high-end sound system, the B&O. Now, I don't know if that works on 22s because Ford learned real quick to lock this down because everybody was activating all the modules, all the modes, driving modes and stuff. But I know in the 21s, you can actually activate to make it sound a little bit better.
I'm to that point. I'm really disappointed. So I've got the B&O sound, and it sounds pretty decent with the roof on and the doors closed.
But you've got 10 speakers or something, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm 6.
So it sounds pretty decent. They, obviously having a removable roof and the doors, the positioning for the speakers is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
With a good source, with a quality mixed digital source, you can make it sound really good. The problem is they only provide you a 3-band EQ.
Yes.
And that chaps my ass. It's a software defined system. They could have put something in there a little better or had a little button for an advanced mode for somebody like me who understands the audio spectrum.
Yeah, you're buying a B&O system, you would think.
Exactly. Oh, high, mid, low.
Yeah. Oh, we've tuned this.
No, you haven't.
Because you haven't tuned it to my ear.
I watched that video that the Bronco Nation did with the people from B&O, and
you know what's funny
I
about
was
that
stupider. I felt stupider.
Oh, that guy was horrible. Let's be honest. You know when that video came out, right? I dropped a video a few days before, maybe a week or so before that, and the title of my video was "The Bronco Radio Sounds Like Shit." And I'm not saying it was because of me, because there was a couple people had done videos on going, hey, this thing doesn't sound great, but they were taking enough heat about that system that Ford sent their guy to Bronco Nation and gave a horrible explanation of why that.
It wasn't Bronco Nation that did that. I want to point that out. I'm not saying the Bronco Nation did a horrible job. The guy from B&O, they had do that, who supposedly helped design that system with Ford for the speaker placement and everything like that, just tried to explain things. And he explained it in a way like he didn't know what he was talking about, which frustrated me.
Yeah.
Doing live sound production, taking that band, I can walk into a room. I can take the shittiest of venues and make it sound wonderful in there.
Yeah. Hunter's comment. I don't want to repeat it, but It's funny as hell.
Yeah.
No, he definitely did not do a good job, but I think Ford was taking a little bit of heat on that. So they had to
So
they
was the B&O Hunter? Was the B&O system was it Putin's fault? Sorry.
um
So, oh man, look at him. I'm behind there. I just looked at the live stream on the thing, and there's the top of my head. Sorry, guys.
yeah. Well, we were checking if you had dandruff, and you do not.
I know I don't.
I appreciate
No.
that. Hey, that was a dandruff update. Was brought to you by
Yeah.
Purell, or uh,
Who was that?
Alvedo 5 or whatever was some fancy hair salon. Head and
Headandshoulders.com.
Shoulders. There you go. Head and
There you go.
Shoulders. That was brought to you by Head and Shoulders. If you you want more info, tell them All Terrain Nation sent you there. But yeah, no, it's but I put kicker speakers in. There's a link on the website if you want to see what I used. It links you right to our link, Amazon link, and you know, if you want to buy them that way, so be it. But I replaced the 4. I've often wondered if I could put because I believe the kick panel speakers, are they 6-inch if I remember right? I'm wondering, are they 5.5s?
I don't think they're 6. I think
They may be 5.5s, but I was wondering if anybody made a 5 or 5.5-inch sub that you could put in there. But then you would I guess you wouldn't have any mid-range after that, because I basically have tweeters, it seems like, in the dash.
So I've seen some people mount subs on the back door. You know, where we put tray tables in, they put sub cabinets in.
Well, so
but they're the compressed.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know, Shoma, because I've seen those. I was looking at one of those this weekend at Best Buy for my buddy Luke with Lifestyle Off-Road. He put one under his driver's seat, and seemed to work out pretty well for him. And his radio does sound a lot better. That's the one thing it just lacks. Just it needs some bass, and sometimes I want to listen to you know, some fun rap or just something with a good kick drum in it. And the system I have right now,
see,
my basic Jeep audio system sounds night and day different than my Bronco. And I'm talking, it's a Sport Plus basically. And I have a Badlands mid-level, but night and day different.
I have fairly decent low end with the B&O system and the built-in sub. Could that be improved upon? Most definitely. Would things be a lot better if they had given me an option to have a 31? Hell, I'd take a 5-band parametric EQ and do something a little bit more than what 3 bands can do.
Yeah. But as far if that helps the question on the radio, I know that's kind of a long dragged out one. Pezhead says Bronco Nation has Bronco Corral at the Dream Cruise. They probably do. I'm not on fun terms with those guys right now. I was denied something that I'd been promised a while back, so we'll leave it at that. They do watch these things, so
did they go denied or whatever
they did? They
what,
did.
What was it? Hogan's Heroes.
We were informed of, hey, that's not going to happen. So
well,
I've played nice long enough. How about that? We'll leave it at that. Let's see what else we got going on here.
It's because your name's David. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it could be. Or my middle name is Asshole. Let's see. My rear pods are, what do we got going on here? Armorel coax 4 inches. The rear, I will say this, easiest radio speakers I've ever installed. You get the little adapter from they make the little adapter plugs now. Like when I was a kid, I was telling my son this the other day. We were at an National Oldsmobile meet show. It was in my town here just by chance, and we happened to just drive by it, and I was like, holy shit, look at all these cool Oldsmobiles. So I was telling you about replacing the radios and in the cars, the old Delphi or whatever they were called, what were they, Delco.
AC Delco, yeah.
And they were all hardwired. I mean, there was a plug in the back, but as far as there was no adapters, either you had to cut the plug out when you're putting your aftermarket radio in and then start playing around with all the color coded, because you had 70 color coded wires that went into that radio.
Oh, there's a left channel. Yep, there's the right channel. Right.
Yeah, and it was hours of, okay, I've got that one done. And of course, as a kid, I never soldered anything. It was always just electrical tape. and then a year later, suddenly my right speaker doesn't work because, it vibrated itself apart and, 16 and dumb. But no, today, like the way with these modern adapters plug and play everything, so nice, man. It literally, I was done in 30 minutes with all 4 speakers. I did crack one of the, so the speaker panels, they got the little, I don't even know what you call them, the little hooks that lock into the dash. I did when I was popping one of them out on the driver's side, broke one of those, but it all fastened back together and was plenty fine. But just take your time, get a plastic, don't use a screwdriver or anything to pry those, pop those lids off, get the little plastic knives. And that way you won't scratch anything up.
And I would suggest searching on, I'm going to use Bronco 6G. They seem to be the one site that has service manuals or pages of service manuals for specific things and show you where the points are for those clips. So that's one place I go and look whenever I want to do something, since I've pretty much pulled out my entire dash.
Speaking of that, I know it was in our Discord, guys. If you are interested in the whole group effort that we have going on here, the community we were building, Tim found it finally. I think you were in there at one point, and then
my original Discord account, but I want to keep the branding up so people know to go to my web store to buy stuff. I want to use my branding.
But here's a link to our Discord, and if you don't know what Discord is, it's just it's a chat group. You can post pictures, whatever you want. It's getting more active. Mark and a few of them are mobile, and Kyle always in there chatting about something. But there's a good question, and Tim, I don't know if you saw it or not, but mobile was asking about if somebody had heard knew a part number on the nuggie holder, the hero switches, if I remember right. Mobile, you may, but anyone is okay. So here is the question. I'm gonna copy and put it over here in case anybody in our group knows.
It wasn't a part number for the full switch panel.
And of course it's too long. Let's see. There it'll go. But there is the question he was asking. And I don't know if I know you're the one that I know that's had the dash pretty much all apart. So I don't know that you saw part numbers or anything, or
I believe there's probably a part number on the bottom of it. Yeah. I can, when I think about it, go out there.
Does that just pop right at the hero switch pop out of there?
Yeah, you just tool. Just need a tool.
Little plastic tool.
And there's 4 kind of
probably 2 in the centers and 2 on the ends, I would imagine.
Sounds right. Or 4, maybe it's 6. Maybe it's 2 on each side and then 1 on the ends.
Yeah. What's up, Jeffrey Babb? Let's see.
But I will say, I have found that Ford, it used to be in the olden days, they'd build one wiring harness and there'd be wires for options you didn't necessarily have. And you could go and buy switches and add them in and stuff like that. But it's like in these newer cars and their cost saving efforts and their weight saving efforts, they don't tend to run extra wires in the harness that aren't used.
Yeah.
So,
well, some of the cool stuff is now like all the wiring harnesses are the same. So whether you have a base or whatever, generally it's the same harness.
It could be.
And I know with like the fog lights and stuff that are pre-wired, when you get the basic bumper we talked about earlier, I'm sure probably in there somewhere they've got them tucked away is the plugs for those. I bet money. So a lot of times the stocks are easy to pop those out of the steering column, and you can just put the stock in that activates those sometimes. I'm not saying it is with Bronco and Ford, but I know a lot of manufacturers do keep it simple manufacturing.
That's what I was saying. I think, from the simplicity side, that's how they used to do it, because it would be hard to make those harnesses. It was a lot of tedious hands-on, somebody laying this all out and looming it up. But I think now with the modern, manufacturing processes and their need to keep the weight down, they look at every avenue to shave. I mean, ounces add up.
Tell me about it.
Per vehicle, per the run of the vehicle. So I don't know. I think it's definitely worth looking into. But it could be just in that case. It's switches that are built in. It may not even in this particular case, it might be a 6-pin connector that just plugs into the switch panel, and it's really just done in the computer. So
Yeah.
It may not
Well,
be an issue for that.
Peugeot says there's a main harness, but there are some missing sub harnesses, which may be. But those are, you usually can buy those pretty easily. This says the link is not working. I know I've given that link to Tim before. Mobile, if you know of an easy way that you could share a link from the Discord, I would greatly appreciate that. Because let's bring it on screen. So this is what our Discord looks like. There you can see that's Mark. He was sharing his new bumper he got on the front of his 2-door. Looks really cool.
Is that a lifestyle off-road bumper?
He did get a lifestyle front and rears and full skids. I'm completely jealous of Mark's purchase.
You so jelly.
I am. I was going to buy the rear bumper, and I bought the exhaust that Kelly hates, and I think it sounds amazing.
Can't win it all, dude.
I know, man. She took my Bronco, but she's not going to take my exhaust. But people sharing their adventures on there. Got Alpha on there, so that was really cool. But there's all kinds of stuff on there. They share other people's videos. Go check that stuff out. Jessica Dunn is in there. So Miss Texas is in there. So a lot of fun in there. Oh, let's see. So Tim, colors. Let's as we wind this one down. Colors. What would be that one color that you think they add? We saw 11. What would be the 12th that we don't know of yet? That we're going to hear about it at the Dream Cruise. I guarantee you that.
I like that gray.
Yeah,
I like that dark gray.
Well, it fits the palette of dark grays and dark colors, so why not?
Yeah.
I'm hoping for something fun. Oh, the blue, the sky blue, or the egg
heather blue,
whatever they call it now, the egg something blue, the baby blue,
egg McMuffin blue.
Yeah, that makes me think that Heritage gets a few special colors, maybe. But that and maybe Area 51 just moved over to that. Cactus gray, maybe for just a Heritage, and obviously race red. Let's end the poll. So the poll right now, we've got 38 votes. You got about 10 seconds if you want to vote in this poll. Dream Cruise or SEMA. And I'm going to call it. It's much like our normal presidential elections. We'll call it early. Yeah. And Dream Cruise by 79 to SEMA at 21%.
Dave, I just put in the chat, though. That's the link that you sent me that actually I know works. Because
I don't know why the link I'm pulling from this is not working. But so it looks like we will be in Michigan. So maybe next show I'll go ahead and we'll try to organize some kind of fun meetup. Maybe Tim will actually drive.
Oh, I'd drive to that. I was just actually not that far. I was up 5 minutes south of Michigan already this past weekend. So
hey, why not next month?
My wife would love it. I can just drop them off at her parents' house and I'll just keep going.
That's right. I guarantee I would probably have a bottle of my favorite back there with me, and we will cheers. We will toast everybody and have some fun. But no, I think it would be fun. So let's end that poll. 79%. Kelly, shit out of luck. There's no Vegas this year. The people have spoken and they require us to go to Michigan. And this is the only time I would like to go to Michigan because I'm a Buckeye. And we don't really like to go to that state up there, so we'll leave it at that. Let's see. Surprise colors. Any others for me, man? I don't know. Maybe another red. I would hope something fun red, like maybe a candy apple, something like that. Even though that would be a pretty tough order to paint nowadays. I'd like to. I would like to see maybe a canary yellow or something, because you notice that Cyber Orange wasn't in that list.
Yeah.
So they need something like that.
I kind of mentioned Shocker Racing did their video here just recently where they pulled their wrap off.
Yep. They sold it.
Maybe Ford secretly paid them to remove that
Ooh, they
because they're
need
going
too
to
much.
have some kind of color like that for their release.
I don't see them using that color. It
I,
was
I
pretty
think
bright.
I think that's. I mean, I think Jim, that's where you need to go, buddy. You need some fluorescent colors.
All right, in the comments. So she's not listening to this. So put All Terrain Nation, do some fun hashtag All Terrain Nation Dream Cruise. Let Kelly know and tell her no SEMA. Let her know that we're coming to Michigan, and it'll be fun. I've been to Michigan since last year's Dream Cruise, and the weather's always really nice. It's a fun time to you knock your top down. Starting to cool down by end of August. So, well, wait, Dream Cruise is when middle of August, right?
Yeah, I think it's the last. It's around the 20th, 22nd, somewhere in there. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Hell, Michigan, is probably not too far from there. Maybe we could do the meetup there in Hell.
Oh, well, I'm already there, so why not? Hey, here we go. All right. So there's the Dream Cruise. And I want to say I have some video on that we did last year, maybe. Where's their dates?
No, this is not a Ford specific event, is it? I know it's
No, it's just a
sponsored by
cruise. It's
Ford.
just a fun classic car cruise. I mean, modern cars too. I want to say I saw a Lamborghini or something going down there, but yeah, it's just you just cruise the strip, man. And me and Kelly were testing the first edition out down there, and I actually saw a couple Broncos, and I bet this year we see quite a bit of them. But I know Bronco Nation has their corral. No, we need the All Terrain Nation corral, guys. Let's be honest. The real people who actually support the Bronco, not the marketing arm of Ford. Where is it? August 20th. There it is. Right there, right in front of me, you big dummy. All right. It's I don't think I have, or do I? I guess before I open my mouth, I've got to make sure I'm supposed to be in East Tennessee at some point too. Oh gosh. Too many events, Tim. Too many events.
I bet Mobile Moto could find us some off-roading facilities up there.
Yeah, this will work out. So August 20th, we'll go to the Dream Cruise, and then the 26th, I'll be in East Tennessee for the Jeep Invasion. So I'm covering that event. So that should be fun in my Bronco. Thousands of Jeeps, and I'm surrounded. I'm the little guy that's not loved. That should be fun. No, yeah. Nikki, no, we don't say go blue. Not on this channel. You're going to get a timeout.
Sorry, did she say go IU?
No, she said Buckeyes rule.
Yeah.
So, all right, it's Kelly. The people have spoken. So if you're seeing it, they request us to be in Michigan. So there you go. Tim, I want to say I appreciate you last minute joining us like this.
Hey, not a problem. I feel like we're going to be doing something like this tomorrow night too.
I do feel like, so if you guys will enjoy the auto chat, we have the happy hour, same time, same bat channel. We talk all things automotive. I don't know the topic just yet. So maybe Tim will have something. I don't know.
Hopefully I'll get it a little bit sooner than 2 minutes before go live.
Maybe. Guys, we can always be reached at allterrainnation.com. If you ever I get quite a few questions. I try to answer them best we can. If you have any questions like that, automotive, I've helped quite a few Bronco people, and I always gladly do that. Once again, the Teespring account is there on the YouTubes, or you can find us on All Terrain Nation there as well. Tim, Overlanding for Fun, They need to come sub, right?
Absolutely. The big thing I'm really looking at 500 subs.
Yeah.
I'm just a little ways away, a little more than 100, but that'll open up a new set of options, some community stuff and things in the YouTubes that somebody at YouTube says I really need to get done so I can grow my channel.
That's right, man. So, and Tim does all kinds of unique stuff. The cool thing about Tim is he's tackling the subjects that I don't want to, like ham radio and
and
I won't say how to change oils, but You got into that a little bit. And it's part of our Bronco empire. So go over there and talk to Tim over that way.
Yeah.
Uh,
The Bronco Mafia.
That's right. We are the Bronco Mafia.
Yeah.
So there you go, guys. That was a show. I appreciate everybody being in here tonight, and thank you for choosing where our trip will be in next month. We will talk more about it. I will put it on my board, so we will talk about it next week about the Dream Cruise. And we'll make plans somehow. We'll figure something out, a parking lot we can all meet at, and not get. It's Detroit, for God's sake, so I don't want to get mugged. Not on 8 Mile.
We got that.
That's all I know.
Covered. We got
We're
that
not
covered.
going to 8 Mile.
We have that covered.
That's right. But we'll go have some fun in Detroit. And till next time, whether it be 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, you know the drill. It does not matter what you drive. Well, today it does. We're talking Broncos here on the channel. And we're out. Peace, everybody. Love y'all. See y'all tomorrow night.